Hello, hello. Welcome to week 2 of the Simplified Amplified Declutter Your Life course. I am, of course, Tamika Rich of Tamika Rich Styles, and I'm excited that you join me on this evening. So we are going to jump right in and get started. Hello, Christy. Thanks for joining. I'm excited. Week 2, we are talking about the art of body harmony. So last week was mind, this week is body. And just a reminder that this course is designed to provide a holistic and actionable approach to just decluttering your life and equipping you with the tools you need, the knowledge you need to just be better in life overall, mind, body, spirit, and home. And I think when you start there, everything else kind of works itself out or trickles down, but it all starts with the mindset. And once you move from the mindset, we go to the body. So this week is all about the body and the harmony, the art of body harmony. And we are getting ready to fuel up this body, talk about this body. But first, before we do that and we get into week 2, I want to just go over homework from last week. And we're going to go to our mental clarity goal sheet. Hopefully, if you did the homework, had time to do it, jotted down some things. I just want to start off with that. And don't forget, this is an interactive session. So if you have a question, I need to slow down. If you have a comment, just raise your hand or alert me. Let me know that you want to interject or say something, and I'll be glad to do that. Just take yourself off mute and we will talk about it. Your question, your comment, whatever it may be. So if you will unmute yourself for just a few minutes, we will talk about, or I want to get into our homework, the what was it? The mental clarity goals. So your goals for last week, because we also have the workbook for this week too. And of course, we have another goal sheet, and we'll talk about that or get into that in just a little bit.
Okay, my goal is to have 30 to 45 minutes of a long time meditation and time with God and do
Okay.
daily affirmations.
All right. And so that's both of those are daily goals for you.
Yes.
Okay. Any solutions or anything that you kind of went over, or what was your hindrances, I guess, of your thought or your mindset before last week?
Try to get away from so many distractions. To
Okay.
move try to easily slowly move out the distractions of life and people. Like and then trying to get it when I'm home, trying to make sure that my family is like situated before I have my time or whatever. Or tell them, hey, I got a set time. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do this, and I need this time to myself.
Okay. Have you been able to implement that or start on those goals at all in this past week?
Yeah, because I told them I say on Tuesday is my time at 7 o'clock. I
Mm-hmm.
need this time for these next couple of weeks. I need this
Okay.
time to be in this on this Zoom.
Okay. Perfect. I love it. Thanks for taking the time to do that. I was just talking with someone this week about time, and it is very valuable, and we don't have time to waste. So making sure that we take time out for ourselves is the most important, because we give so much time to other things and other people that we don't give enough time to ourselves. So I'm
Right.
excited about that. So this week, embracing self-care, because of course, talking about our bodies and the harmony of it is all about how we take care of ourselves physically. This week, we're talking about physical, of course, but so many things contribute to our physical well-being. And I'm going to start off with scripture. Of course, this one scripture, not that I'm preaching, but this is a faith-based program.
Go
So our
ahead.
scripture for this week is 3 John 1 and 2, and it reads, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prosper. So, I mean, it's all about being in good health. God wants us to not only prosper, and I think a lot of times we think about the money aspect or just the wealth, but health as well. And so as well as our souls prospering. So next week we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into our spirit. But this week about the body and health is very important. We're going to talk about just fueling up our bodies tonight. Some facts about women health, because I'm all about women health, health overall, but definitely about women's health because I'm a woman's health advocate. And that's very important to me. One, because I was in healthcare for over 25 years, over 26 years now, being close to 30, and 20 of them was women's healthcare. So just how we take care of our bodies, the importance of taking care of our bodies. So a little fact about women's health, the most important part of our health that we don't realize a lot of times is gut health. And gut health affects our overall health, our digestive system, our nervous system, our immune system, and our hormones. And I don't know if we realize that a lot of times. So if we focus on our gut health, that is a start to overall health and well-being. And 80% of our immune system is in our gut, is a part of our gut health. And so when COVID and all of the things came out, that was one of the things they noticed, that when you was going to get COVID, or if COVID was going to be widespread in a certain area, it started out with digestive symptoms and gut health symptoms. And so when they found out people were having a lot of pain in their gut, nausea, and just GI problems, then they found out that COVID was going to be widespread or very bad. And that was one of the symptoms of it starting, is COVID. And I'm drinking my water. We are going to get there in just a minute. But my throat is dry, so I'm drinking my water. um, But the importance of our gut is the microbiome. I don't know if you've ever heard that word before, and I'm not going to get too much in the scientific part of it because that's a whole different course or a whole different discussion or webinar. But that is the collection of the collection of microbes that, like bacteria, bacteria, viruses that live in our gut, and fungus. So fungus, bacteria, and viruses that live in our gut. And of course, there is bad bacteria and good bacteria. They all work together, but the microbiome is made up of that in our system. And so it's the environment in which we live, our gut lives in. And so if that is unhealthy or it's in poor health, then it just affects our overall body. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Our gut microbiome can change the levels of our hormones. It has mine so much in our estrogen levels, which I don't think a lot of people realize. And then from there, it affects our vaginal health, our mental health, all over health, just from starting off in our gut. So our gut is the main thing, or the most important thing to kind of focus on in our health, and then we kind of move from there. For me, my own personal thing, some years ago, about 3-4 years ago, I had some GI issues and I lost a lot of weight, over probably about 30 pounds or so. And I had no idea what was going on. And so they did test. I thought I had one particular virus, but come to find out, it was just really bad gastritis. And so I had to have a colonoscopy, endoscopy, upper, lower, all of the things to find out what was going on and why I felt so bad. So after that, for me, it was very important to start taking care of my gut. And so for me, taking supplements and vitamins really work. I would love to say I eat clean or healthy all the time, which I don't, but I try as much as I can. But we should at least start somewhere. So it's starting somewhere for me. And that was the same thing we talked about last week with having things on our plate and even drinking our water. What works for me? And I at least need to start somewhere. So the start for me was eating cleaner and better, and start to take vitamins and supplements, because I realized during study that even if we eat clean, a lot of times we don't eat enough of the fruits and vegetables, that the nutrients that we need consistently are in those foods that we eat or we'll be eating all day, all the time. And so
Right.
the supplements and the vitamins help, but you have to make sure that you're taking the right vitamin, the right supplement that will absorb in your body and not just be in there floating around or doesn't make a difference. So doing research is key to what is really good. And I know sometimes really good things are a little more expensive, but definitely it's an investment in you. And so once I started investing in me, overall health wise, I started taking a supplement that I really, really love. And I can tell the difference. As a matter of fact, just transparency. I ran out of it for about a week or so now. Just got it back. And within that week time, I could just tell the difference of how I felt. Like my energy level was a little bit lower than normal. I was having more hot flashes than usual. And so the
Mhm.
supplement that I take helps with all of those things. Hot flashes, vaginal, different things, dryness, um, mental, estrogen, all of the things. And so it's important to make sure you get the right vitamin and
Can you
supplement.
recommend some vitamins and supplements?
Um, I will at the end recommend.
Okay.
Yep, during resource time, I definitely will recommend some of the things that you should take on a daily
Okay.
basis. Yeah. And then just doing your research before you purchase them or whatever. Or outside of here, if you just message me or whatever, some of the ones that I know that are pretty good products, I could probably tell you. Or I'm usually continuing to research different products just because of price
Mm,
range. And I know sometimes people affordability is a little different, but making sure it's a good product overall. So I will
okay.
definitely do that before the end. We are going to talk a little bit now about rejuvenating our body and how do we start doing that, rejuvenating and fueling up our body. And of course, clean eating. I talked about just a little bit in vitamins and supplements. Clean eating is important. So getting rid of a lot of fatty foods, and that was my thing. That's how I actually got gastritis, because once you are a certain age, you have to change your eating habits a little bit. And so I thought fish Fridays and eating fried foods a lot was the thing. And so when I realized that fried fish Fridays was not really nice to me, I had to change my thought and attitude about how I eat it. So I don't do it all the time or every Friday anymore, but I still do it from time to time. So just limiting like fried foods and grease and stuff like that. I know they say we shouldn't have them at all, but I think there are steps to getting there. And so some people can stop cold turkey. Kudos to those
Mm,
people. I'm not one of them.
right.
But but a little bit at a time. And so I am getting there. I do eat fatty foods a lot less. And so just implementing things as I take things off, like we said, our plate last week, just implement taking everything off and then implementing and putting things back that are good for me. So for a while I have changed like the different oils that I use to cook with, and stuff like that. I do want to talk about this one thing that I don't think people really know that leads to like dementia and Alzheimer's is instead of using butter, they use margarine. And so I was
Mhm.
listening to someone that did a study on margarine and what it's made out of, and it really affects the brain and the brain cells. So it does lead to dementia and Alzheimer's. So I tell anybody it's worth it to buy butter. It costs a little bit more, but if you're gonna eat some good fat, go ahead and buy butter. And so I do even limit butter intake and stuff like that. And if you're gonna make a cake, because we country people, we gonna use butter. You want to taste that,
Butter.
not that margarine. And so
Right.
coconut oils, avocado oils are the best oils to use. And so clean eating, I'm just doing it better. Baked foods, of course, grilled foods, fruits and vegetables, fresh if you can, if not fresh, because they go bad so fast. So I buy
Right.
fruits and vegetables, and within a week, I was like, if we don't eat them, they're gone, and I don't like wasting money. So I was like, let's get some frozen things. Like the frozen fruits usually we use for smoothies. So smoothies are good if you're not drinking or doing those. Just make sure you read the ingredients and they don't have like added sugars and stuff like that, because that kind of defeats the purpose of eating cleaner and healthier. But smoothies, frozen fruits when need to, but I like fresh ones. So I like to buy bananas because they're good for your potassium level and some other things. But apples, of course, we used to hear growing up, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It really does.
Right.
So eating an apple a day is really good for your overall health. So implement lots of fruits and vegetables. Canned goods, they have so much sodium. We shouldn't have canned goods at all. There are very few things every once in a while that I may buy in the can, but we
Mhm.
grew up a lot of times on those canned green beans and corn and all of that stuff. It is not good for you. It has so much sodium in it. So just one of the things to remind yourself about or be mindful of canned goods and eliminating those and getting frozen vegetables if you need to, because they just work better for you and they are healthier for you. Um, see some of the other things I can think of. We're gonna get into what we drink in just a minute. But definitely eliminating carbonated drinks. Sodas are the worst for us. Sweetie drinks, Kool-Aid, and start to drink just more water. For me, I like coconut water. If I said that before, just because it hydrates me more. And sometimes the taste. Some people just don't like the plain taste of water because it's blah. But I always say
Yeah.
add something in it so you can consume it more. So drink it more water.
So are
Regular.
the like the packets that you're adding in there, are they good or they are
Some of those are not. I'm definitely into reading labels, so I read, and artificial sugars aren't good for you, period, at all. The Splenda, the Sweet and Low, the Equal, any of those are like the worst things for you. So for me, if I'm gonna eat sugar, rather have regular sugar, just less of it. But I actually use raw sugar. So raw sugar is better for you than what is it, the granulated sugar?
right?
The white sugar, yeah. So usually I
Yeah.
use brown sugar, or raw sugar, because that's better for you. Yeah, and letting
No, I'm
that
talking about like how like they add the little packets to your water or whatever. I'm talking those
those
like the
I only
crystallized.
say that because some of those have sweeteners in them. If they don't have the
Oh,
sweetener,
okay, okay,
yeah, I
right.
would look and see what sweetener they have in it, and if they don't
Mm,
have any. Now stevia is like a thin line, because there is a pure stevia that's better for you and not the engineered stevia. So you have to
mhm,
be careful of what portion of stevia that they may have in the product too. But any artificial sweeteners aren't good at all. But they are a few of the packs or the little drops, like the liquid drops,
mhm.
that are better to put in your water. And then they
Oh,
have
okay.
some of the waters too that some flavored waters. I can't think of the name of one of the ones that I recently was looking at that I tried, and it wasn't bad because most of them have the aftertaste. So for me, it's the
Yeah.
aftertaste that I cannot stand. But if they don't have the aftertaste, they don't have the artificial sugar in it, then I'm pretty okay about that.
What
And
about
so
like the
that's why I
vitamin
use.
water and stuff like that?
But yeah, some of the vitamin waters are good because they have the vitamins. The one we talked about, those nutrition and
Mhm,
supplements that's in it. Yeah, some of those are really good. What is it? The electrolyte waters
mhm.
are really good for you. What is this one in particular? If I think of it, I'll say, but they're good for you too. Yeah. The only thing about those, you have to be careful, because just like drinking Gatorade, which has too much salt in it, and sugar, um, it can, if you're not expelling or getting rid of like the electrolytes, like if you're not sweating or moving around and stuff like that, you can get too much of it if you drink a lot of
Mhm.
electrolyte, a lot of water with electrolytes in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so just being mindful, but some of those are really good. Regular exercise, creating a routine that works for you. A lot of times we try to adopt other people's routines, but we have to start somewhere. And so last summer for me, I started walking at least 30 minutes a day. I definitely did it 2 days a week. So I started 2 days a week, and the other 3 days a week, I went to the gym on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so I record my walk, of course, and post it. I'm sure you saw it on Tuesdays and
Mm.
Thursdays about getting it in. It is so important to get some type of movement in. I don't know with your schedule if it allows that, but making time, just like you make time for you, that is a part of making time for you in your physical movement or your physical health. So walking, even if you don't get to go to the gym or exercise class, for me, I like Zumba. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays now, instead of doing that walk in the mornings, I usually go to Zumba for an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And then on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'll still go to the gym to a strength training class. So it's structured. So I know I'm in there with other people that'll hold me accountable. We have a little texting group. So, if you miss too many times or, they're looking for you, if class is canceled or something like that, you have somebody to be
Mhm.
accountable to. But we should definitely hold ourselves accountable. That's key or the main thing. And then after that, it's good to have accountability partners or other people too to hold us accountable. But I like to do structured things now so I don't feel like I'm just spinning my wheels are not really getting the results or the tone that I want. So my goal was just to be toned, not so much a lot of times to lose weight. So I think so many people focus on just like the weight of it, but it's more of the mindset of being in good health. And then if you happen to lose some weight or become fit while doing so, then that's a plus too or a benefit.
Right.
Yeah, so it's always a benefit and not doing it too fast, especially if it's a weight loss journey or whatever, because you see people that lose it and pick it right back up just as fast as they lost it. So you want to make sure it's maintained and it's something healthy that you do. So regular exercise, adequate sleep, which I am getting better at, making sure you get the amount of sleep that you need. For me, or it's recommended that you get 7 to 8 hours. The numbers are always kind of up and down depending on the individual or depending on who you are, but usually about 7 to 8 hours of sleep is what we need within a night span. For me, sometimes it's 5 or 6. But I am doing better trying to set my schedule or making myself wind down. So my structured app actually helps me because it's like wind down. And then when I see it pops up to go, oh, it's bedtime. So you need to be going to bed. Sometimes I override it. But most of the time, I'm getting there. I'm getting there to get healthy because sleep actually helps you. If you notice people that don't get a lot of sleep, usually they're kind of
Mhm.
mean or have an attitude.
Right. Yes.
But sleep is important so you don't have that, so you don't feel tired. And if you are feeling tired after having that much sleep, then you definitely should see a physician because a lot of times people have sleep apnea and sleep disorders that you don't realize. And you go, I think I'm getting enough sleep, but I still feel drained or tired or whatever. So it may be like sleep apnea or some other sleep disorder that a physician needs to treat so you can get the proper amount of sleep that you need. But that is so important. Rest and sleep. Because a lot of times we don't get enough or proper rest too. And so when it's just shutting down, like our brains turning it off for a moment and having that quiet time. Usually when we are quiet or still too long, we drift off to sleep anyways. We just because we're so tired. But a lot of times, just even if you rest and you don't necessarily sleep, some physicians or experts recommend a nap. Who has time to take a nap in the middle of the day? Not
Right.
everybody. But if you can, they was like, 30 minutes, an hour nap, a power nap. For me, if I do a power nap for about 15 minutes, then that makes me up and I definitely get off schedule trying to go to bed on time. So I
Yeah.
was like, I try not to do it. But if I sit still long enough,
That's
especially
it.
after dinner, I'm like, you find yourself dozing off. You like, wait a minute, did I go to sleep? A good 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'm back up
Yeah.
and then I want to stay up all night. So
All night. Yeah.
all night. All night. So hydration, that brings us to hydration. As you see, I am drinking my water. Again, I have my cup again to talk about hydration and what works for me. So these are the 42 ounces, even though I'm not using this cup today, I'm using this one and I just fill it up because sometimes Ice water works for me, and sometimes I just like tap or room temperature water because usually I can drink more if it's not too cold. But starting off at these 42 and working my way, my goal, and actually I think a lot of times the percentage of well, here's the thing. So our body is made up of 50 to what is it? 75% of water. And so it's different. Read this fact right here. It's different for everybody. Babies, women, and men is a little bit different. So when you used to have people go, "Oh, you should drink a gallon of water a day," it's
Mm-hmm.
a little different for everybody. You may not. That may work for. I don't know if that's based off of men because their bodies are made up a little different. Women, and you definitely not gonna give a baby a gallon of water a day, right? And so
No way.
it just depends. But our bodies are usually the most common is about 60%. So the average is 60% of water that our bodies, but it can range from 50 to 75%. But usually about
So how
60%.
much water are you supposed to be drinking a day?
Um, they say a gallon. I tell everyone to go and research by putting in your size, so your weight, your height, like doing your BMI. Even
Uh-huh.
though I don't really believe in BMI because it's off. It's off because BMI
Yeah.
tells you to be about 15 pounds, 150,
Right.
115 pounds for everybody, and you're like 6 feet tall, and then you look like
Yeah.
crack at it. So I don't necessarily believe in the BMI, but I would use it to get the water intake that you should have on a daily basis. So it does depend on your makeup.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that's the thing. A gallon is going to be a little bit too much for me. I'll get there, but that's why I start off at the 42 ounces. But for you, it may be a little bit more.
Okay.
But I definitely would research and see how much water should I be drinking within a day. And then even knowing how to drink it, because a lot of times people will just drink water, but you're supposed to drink it slower so it doesn't run right through you. And so when you're just trying to chug it, all you're gonna do is keep going to the bathroom and pee. You're
Yeah,
gonna
right.
do that anyways, because it's, releasing and getting rid of those toxins out of your body. But when you drink it slower, you actually are being hydrated. And when you drink it
Mm.
fast, it's not absorbing like it should be. So making sure you get the proper amount of water that you should be in within a day's time. And that brings us to digital breaks. And you go, what in the world does digital breaks have to do with our bodies? But it actually helps us, our nervous system that causes like anxiety, and it could spike our blood pressure a lot of times. So we should our
Mm.
eyes, because if we're constantly on our phones or our computers, I don't know if people realize how much it affects your eyes. And if you know people that's
Mm-hmm.
worked with computers and stuff like that for a long period of time, they go, now I need glasses, but it's because of the lighting and
Yeah.
looking at the screen all the time. So making sure that you give yourself a digital break, because that does wear and tear on your body as well. So just putting it down, darkening the screen, sometimes lighting it up. For me, I have to have it lighter. My kids, I was like, how can you even see this thing? They have it like so dark. They're lighting on low. I'm going, how do you see that? So for me, everything needs to
Yeah.
be bright, 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 bright. I need to see it.
I think that's a teenage thing though, cause
Oh, is that what it is? I was like, are you trying
yeah,
to hide what you have on? What is it? And so when I'm looking at something, I was like, if you hand me your phone, you're gonna have to cut up the lighting because I need to be able.
right.
But I always tease them because I have the 20/20 vision. Anyway, right now I am due for an eye exam, but I do pretty well. But a lot of times I do notice if I'm like looking at my phone or looking down for a long period of time and then I adjust or look back up, everything becomes kind of blurry.
Blurry.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we should definitely give it that break.
So you said it spikes blood. It spikes the blood pressure
Hmm.
with.
Like that digital, just because the anxiety. So it's like the anxiety that comes with what you're looking at digitally.
Mm.
If it's, all the time or something like that, it puts like a little strain on you. It can causes like heart things and arrhythmias and stuff like that. as well.
Oh,
So making sure you give yourself a break from those digital components. Yep, it's
okay.
important. There's so many things that just affect our health or our overall health and well-being that we don't realize. So when we just adjust it,
Right.
you can really tell the difference. You can tell the difference. So were you able to download your workbook?
Yes.
Okay, great. So body harmony goal, our goal sheet for this week, of course, and it'll be our homework again. Why I want to achieve the goal, problems that may appear, possible solutions. So it's kind of a repeat of last week. What will I do to achieve my goals? And how I will monitor my process. Because a lot of times we will write down our goals, achievements, what we want, but then how are we going to get to accomplishing the goal is important too. So the process of doing it all, because we just don't want to write our goals. A lot of times I say we just don't want to be inspired or motivated to do something.
Hmm.
What is the activation part of it? So transformation is putting all of that inspiration and motivation into play. So we have to
Right.
activate in order to transform. And so that's important. We have our habit tracker on here for our water, our workout, our reading, writing, our eating, and our sleeping. And so a couple of things that we didn't talk about, just reading, which we talked about last week in the mind, and writing. That helps us overall mentally and physically. It's writing and having that time to yourself, writing and journaling. It calms the mind. It just makes you feel better overall. It can lower that blood pressure. Like if it's heightened by all the digital things or whatever,
Hmm.
writing calms you down. It can lower your blood pressure. And reading as
Right.
well is reading as well. So you have a habit tracker in here, a to-do list, and some notes, a food journal, which is important. And that is, you definitely have to be intentional about food journaling. And that was like one of the hardest things to do for me, like within a day, just kind of jotting down what you ate or what you're eating. So you can go back and go, am I doing good or bad? Counting calories. I'm not big into counting calories, but I do like glance or look to see how much is in something that I'm eating.
So counting calories is good.
It can be good as long as you're not because there is a calorie intake once you do the body image thing of your
Hmm.
body proportions of how much you should take within a day, like 1,500. Some people, well, when they go
Right.
on diets, of course, they try to do like 1,500. It
Hmm.
varies from men and women, how many calories you should be intaking in a day. And so I'll look at the overall thing of how many I'm supposed to intake for my goals or what I'm trying to maintain. And then so from there, I kind of look at what I'm eating. So of course, if it's
Right.
something you're having a treat, some ice cream or cookies or something like that, you do want to look and go like, how many calories is this going to eat up over my whole calorie intake throughout the day? So I'm not
Hmm.
constantly doing those, but sometimes you do cheat or, have a few things, but being honest about it, writing it down, it has rate your day, how you rate your day if you did, okay, good, bad, on your eating. And always in your notes, you can put, how can I make that better? Or what would be like even my goal for the next day? If you ate something today, what will be my eating goal for tomorrow or the rest of the week?
Okay.
So it's mostly discipline. And that discipline starts in the mind. So your mindset of healthy eating, clean eating, exercising, drinking enough water, and getting enough sleep and rest. So making sure you're doing all that. So I do just like that tracker because it helps keep you on task. And a lot of times, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So if we have something there that helps hold us accountable, we'll kind of go back to it and fill it in. For me, when
Right.
I have for my coaching, I have a book that I have to, jot things down in before my next meeting. And so I'm accountable or holding myself accountable to go intentionally go through the things and do the assignments. So I get the results. So that's important to me. And we've been chatting pretty much through the whole thing, but at this, do you have any other questions or answer? This is our question and answer section before we do our resources or get into our resources. Just about
Um,
overall goals, anything about just health wise, the body that maybe I can answer for you.
I need more insight on like on the gut health.
Mm-hmm. Like anything specific?
Um, one of the things that you can do to like if you're trying to start with trying to
Mm-hmm.
get your gut health right, what are some of the things that you can start off and do?
All right. So starting off is definitely adding probiotics. Biotics and probiotics are very important, but at least starting off
Okay,
with
say that again. Say that again.
prebiotics and probiotics are very important.
Okay.
Yeah. So taking probiotics every single day is something you need to do. So even if you start changing your eating habits, but it's not as your goal or as much as you want to, still taking those
Mm,
things helps your gut.
okay.
Yeah. So I tell everybody, if you're not taking, even your kids, like I've started the youngest on some, and I told my daughter, she's grown, so you know that you need to take probiotics, especially because all of this different stuff that you eat, it will help you by taking
Okay.
probiotics. So you definitely should start there. You do have to be cautious about what probiotics you take. Some are better than others. Some really don't work as well. So you just have to be careful of what you take in. One of the other things I do recommend, I know you've seen like green drinks everywhere, but like
Mm,
one of the so you need greens, fruits and vegetables. So this is one of the supplements for me. I do a green synergy elixir. It used to be three different things in one. It was my probiotics, my skin health, like collagen, which is good for your skin and bones and joints and stuff like that. And then fruits and vegetables was the greens. And so they combine the product. And so I just take the one thing that or take one thing that has all three in it. And so, and it has actually prebiotics and probiotics, if I'm not mistaken, in what I take. And so if you're not doing like a green drink that has fruits and vegetables in it, I do recommend that because that helps you when you're not eating all of the fruits and vegetables that you need to eat. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So like and it doesn't necessarily have to be um like a smoothie, but just like a shake. Most of them are powders, and you just mix them in water and drink them. So there
Mm,
you're getting your nutrients and you're getting some water. So and so for me, I just do 8 ounces of cool water for my green drink in it that has all of the things or the three things combined in one. Drink it and you can and I can go and I'm out the door. And I also recommend starting, if you haven't, of doing immunity shots. And so you can buy them out of the store or you can make your own. I've done both. When I have the time, I make my own, and it's usually I do the ginger, pineapple. So the ginger root, and I peel it and cut it up. Pineapple juice, but organic. So 100% pineapple juice with no sugar added because pineapple juice is already kind of a little sweet on its own.
okay, so I know pineapple juice. Everybody's always pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. But
Mm-hmm.
what is something I'm allergic to pineapple? So
Oh, you're allergic to pineapple. So that's probably anything kind of citrusy. So if you can't do the pineapple, um, doing the ginger with even just like water, if you did the ginger with water, a coconut water or plain water, if you just, it has to be pretty potent. So just doing the water with ginger in it. And
mm,
then I usually add a little bit of cayenne pepper. So cayenne pepper is good for you and your immunity. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I've been
you can
trying to find
replace the,
some different like stuff, and then it's like pineapple, pineapple.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, I
everything
can't.
says that pineapple because it's good for you. It is not but you can't overdo it.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't just because of that acidity in there. You can't overdo it. So you're
Yeah, I'm
allergic to
allergic to it,
pineapple.
so I
So
can't
just
have it.
replace it with like water.
Water. Okay.
Hmm. And
So
then
just
for
put
the
like the
sweetness, if you can't do it straight and you need a little bit of like the sweetness, I would use honey.
So you said, okay, hold on, I'm trying to write it down. So you said ginger.
Hmm. And cayenne pepper,
Uh,
and then a little bit of honey because you're not doing the pineapple juice.
okay.
Hmm. If you can drink it without the sweetness or the honey, it's gonna be just as good for you. Yeah.
Okay.
And ginger is strong. So starting off, we have the immunity shot ginger. Have you ever heard of sea moss? So sea moss is really good for you too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like, and this me. So you can buy the sea moss that you have to boil and do all the things too. That's very time consuming. Or I would find a company, and I have one, the Moss Boss. She's called the Moss Boss. She's based out of Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
and she does ship. She has really good sea moss. So either the gel that you can put in something or just take the spoon and eat it, or the drink. We have the drink. And so if I
Oh, I
don't
never
have,
seen the drink.
they have the juice. So if you don't actually have like the immunity shots that I'm talking about, or you make your own,
Hmm.
you can do the sea moss shots.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. And that works too. So sea moss is
'Cause I
really
used to do
good.
the. I used to do the
Which
the
one?
gel. The
Oh, you
gel.
did?
Yeah.
Why did you stop? What happened?
Just being lazy. That's it.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't bad. You liked it?
No, I like it. I used to add it to food and everything.
Oh, yeah. So I would start off there. That sea moss is good for you too. So that's a
Okay.
start, of getting that back. The sea moss, the shots, and those the immunity shots you can get. For me, I usually go to Publix, but all the
Okay.
grocery
Yeah.
stores usually have them on sale. Usually they'll have different brands, but usually they have them BOGO, buy one get one free, or
Right.
either like 2 for $5, 2 for $3, 2 for $4, something like that.
Okay. Is it okay? So I know people. It's like different ones. Is there certain ones?
There are, I can't think of, usually there's only one name brand that I don't like at Publix, and I will have to send it to you. And then you may
Because I
like
know
it.
at Publix. I know they have the green wise one, and they have another one. I can't think of the
Yeah,
other
the
one.
green wise is not bad. The cold press is a good one, and I can't think of the other name. There's two other
Yeah,
ones
it's another one.
that are smaller that I really like.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
I'll have
What
to.
about the what is called kombucha?
The kombucha, that's good for you. Kefir, kombucha, that's good for me. I'm not really the taste. I mean, there are so you have to try different flavors, but the kombucha is good for you, and that is
Okay.
good for your gut. Hmm.
Okay, we found I think is it strawberry? Some kind of one of the strawberry ones, and it's like it tastes better than some of the other ones that we tasted or whatever. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay. Because a
yeah,
lot of those have
we've
the
been drinking them for like 2 weeks now.
okay, that's good because a lot of those have the probiotics in them too.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And then like even for instead of the carbonated drinks, they have this one, what is it, Ollie and then Poppy. There's two different ones to replace like drinking sodas. They are they have probiotics in them. And so they replace soda. Of course, they don't taste the exact same of soda,
right.
but it puts you in the mind of it and it's better for
Oh,
you.
okay, I've been seeing those,
You
but
seeing
I was
those?
like, oh,
Excuse me.
they add all kind of stuff, and you like, oh, they're skeptical about them.
Yeah, you do have to be skeptical. I think the Shay, she likes the cherry limeade flavor. She
Mm-hmm.
say that's pretty good. They recommend you not get a flavor of drink like Sprite or something that you normally drink all the time, and then get the lemon lime because you're gonna be able to tell the difference.
Right.
Yeah. I did the root beer one. It wasn't so bad.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. But yeah, it has probiotics in it, so it's better for you than soda. So if you find yourself going, I need a drink or a soda or something like that.
Yeah, I need a Coke after dinner.
Really? Oh, and
No, I
Coke.
don't, but I would say that's why
Oh,
people be saying
gotcha.
that I need a Coke.
And then
No.
it's mental, so you be like, yeah, let me go have my Coke. This gonna be my Coke. Even if you have to wrap the Coke, wrapping and stuff around it or whatever,
Right.
just be like, okay, yeah, my mind goes, it's Coke.
Yeah, that's my husband. I gotta get him off of Cokes like that.
Oh, he liked those Cokes. Yeah,
Yeah, he
those
likes
sodas are
sodas. It don't matter.
period, huh?
You're right.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, so those are the things that I where I recommend you start
Okay.
gut health wise, and then you'll just see the difference from there.
Okay. Yeah, I
You're
needed
welcome.
this because that's what I'm trying to work on. But
Mm-hmm.
when you be lazy or you just like procrastinating or something, I just
Mm-hmm.
need something where I can just like, hey, you got to do this. You need to do this. You need to
Right.
start somewhere to put
You
that foot in
do.
and start make that step.
Yeah. And for me, it was like I have to be intentional about it. Because if I don't, so it slows me down to be intentional about it. If not, then it's easy to just pick up anything and grab things that aren't good for you because it's
Right.
fast and it's quick and easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like quick. Like
Mhm.
since my knee surgery, was like, okay, we're gonna grab something fast food or whatever, and then we're just gonna call it or
Oh,
whatever.
right.
But
Oh, I didn't realize you had knee surgery.
yeah, in
Okay.
April.
Okay. Is it better?
It was, but I don't know. Now it's like it's
Really?
starting back to hurting and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Right. But you still go, because it hasn't been that long. You still have checkups?
Yeah, I go
Okay.
Thursday.
Okay.
My next appointment. So
Cool.
yeah.
So, gut health, that's some of our things and our resources. I'm just trying to think or remember, was it something else I was going to tell you far as I know probiotics and prebiotics was one of the main things that
Hmm.
if you are going to start anywhere, you should start with those. And then from there, the immunity shots help. Oh,
Okay.
I know there was one other thing, detoxing. So, teas, and a lot of times we have to get things out of our system before we start putting, the good things in there. So I don't know.
Right.
You have, detox. So the green synergy that I'm taking, the same company has this really good detox tea. And it's not like harsh or one of those things that make you stay in the bathroom all day or all the time.
Right. I don't
And
need
so
that.
it's really good and soft. And there's another one by 20. It's a tea company. And I want to say it's like a grapefruit because grapefruit is really good for detox too. And it has grapefruit and one other thing in it, and I'll drink it early in the mornings before you put. So any of these things, even if you do the immunity shot or the greens that I was talking about, those are things
Hmm.
you should do first thing in the morning.
And who did you say the that detox with the grapefruit?
It was 20. I want to say the name of the company or the box is 20s.
It's online or it's in the stores?
It's in the store. You can get it at Walmart, Publix, probably Winn-Dixie, any of the stores, but I usually get it from Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll see it. It just says like detox tea.
Okay.
So drinking those a lot of times
It's
in the
hot, like
morning.
hot tea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Hot.
like hot tea.
You could probably drink it cold, but usually I do them hot. I like the hot teas, especially in the
Okay.
mornings. And I just drink them straight. I don't put
Yeah.
anything in them. If I have to put anything in them, it'll be just a little bit of honey. But I've and early on I used to, but I've adjusted now where I can just drink them straight without the honey.
Yeah, I can drink tea without anything in it.
Yeah. And the thing about gut health, and usually once you get that um really well, or you have a routine of doing your things for your gut health and your immune, it helps bowels. And so just for women, a lot of times, especially once we get a certain age, I was just saying this morning in my Zumba class, they didn't realize it because people suffer with constipation, but that's one of the main things for women just as we age, is a big thing, is our digestive system and
Mhm.
constipation. And so a lot of these things help make you regular too. Because I hear so many women, especially my age, that's going through either perimenopause or menopause, suffer with their bowel movements and constipation and irregularity.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, so that's big too. And then you know that your gut is healthy when you're able to go every day, and sometimes more than once a day.
Oh, so that might be
Mhm.
healthy then.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just from what we eat and it's stuff that just sends us, but usually, I won't get into it, but you can like read up.
Right.
They'll tell you it's healthy if it's looks a certain way or comes out a certain
Mhm.
way. And I know that grosses some people,
Right.
but I'm like looking. So now I know if this is like a really good bowel movement or just the bowel movement I'm having because of all of this stuff I put in my body, or because diarrhea can be a bad thing too. Then you'd be like, I'm going all the time. But it's like, what did you eat to give this to you?
Right.
Right. When somebody goes, oh no, that's going too much. When you have diarrhea, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I don't
So
want that
right.
kind.
So you like something is off, something is going on.
But you know,
Mm.
some people like I don't go every day. They don't go every day, or they don't go, more than one time a day or whatever. But it's
Right.
like some people don't
But
have
you
a
should at
problem with
least
it.
go once a day. If you're not going every day, then there's definitely a issue.
Right.
The doctor tell you that, but at least one a day, and most of them tell you more than that, to like 2 to 3 times a day, and then you're going, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
Okay.
And then, oh, it just slipped my mind really quick when we were talking about that. Oh, one of the things that throws you off when you travel a lot of
Hmm.
times, and we were talking about that, it throws your body and your system off too. So a lot of times, if you are regular, you go every day. I don't know if you notice, next time you travel, you should notice like your routine is a little bit different and you don't go. Some people's
Yeah.
like, I didn't
Yeah.
go the whole time I was out of town or the whole weekend. That's because it really does matter. So any of those little things, your body knows and picks up on, like this isn't their regular routine. They're not doing, the things that they normally do every day. And so your body
Yeah.
can
That's me because I don't like all kind of bathrooms and nothing like that. So I'm like,
true, true. Yeah. And it's crazy. You be like, how do my body knows? But your body knows. It's like this is not. And then when you get back home, it's funny because last time I did this, you get back home and it's like, oh, I'm home. So it gets right back on your regular routine.
yeah. By the time you get ready to pull in the yard, it's like, oh, okay, I gotta go. I gotta
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is crazy, but it's so true. And it's not just me, it's everybody that I usually ask. And so some of the other resources we talked about, apps and books, of course, last week. This week, book recommendations for resources. The first one is Eat, Move, Sleep. It's How Small Choices Lead to Big Changes, and it's by Tom. Make sure I'm giving you the right name here. Tom Roth, Rath.
go. Okay. And
Yeah,
eat,
and it's
move, sleep, and then you say something else.
yeah, it's Eat, Move, Sleep, and it's just how small choices lead to big changes. And it's just practical advice on how small eating adjustments and exercise and sleeping habits, the things we were talking about, improve your health long term. So your
Okay.
long term, just small things. And we don't realize it because a lot of times we try to start off big and go cold. And then that
Mhm.
usually don't last but like 2 days. Some people they'll make it a week. Most of them like 2 days, and they go, I can't do it. Atomic Habits by James Clear,
That's a
and
book.
it's a book. Atomic Habits, and it's just like strategies that forms like good healthy habits, breaking bad habits, mastering small behaviors
And who
that
was it
leads.
by?
That is by James Clear, and just like it sounds, Clear. And I
Okay.
like people that start or talk about just the small adjustments first and not so much the
Right.
big ones, because the small ones lead to big ones instead of taking that big leap. Sometimes the big leap works for people, but usually I see that work for people instead of being proactive, it's kind of late because they get this diagnosis or a bad report or something from the doctor. Then you don't have a choice but to
Right.
go cold turkey or go, oh, I gotta start doing this now. So I was like, if you kind of start ahead of time and being proactive, then you don't have to worry about it
Mm-hmm.
usually. Apps again. I know last week we gave a few apps for me, and I know I talked about the Calm app too. And that's one of the ones that I say you can get like a free trial, but then there is a price usually associated with some of these apps. The ones I like is the my let me make sure my habits. Yeah, Habit Minder, because that's the one that reminds me about the water. And so within that one, it has quite a few different things in there. And Simple Habit is the other one. So usually I just My Fitness Pal is another one for like fitness. If you need a fitness app, there's so many different ones for fitness apps that you can, and they do have some free ones. Some of them will give you a 10 to 15-minute routine daily, or how many days you kind of set it at your own pace, or tell them your goal or what you're trying to do. It'll remind you and be like, oh, here's this 15-minute exercise. Or you can just set it for walking, even if you just want to do walking and starting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sleep cycle is another one to help you with like your sleep habit and monitoring. For me, Apple, I want to say it has something too where you can keep track of all of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have an iPhone.
Yeah, I do.
Courses and workshops, of course, like this, different courses, workshops, webinars, different podcasts. If you like podcasts, just kind of go in there and put in the search bar whatever it is that you want to focus on. If it's clean eating or exercise podcasts, health overall, they have some general ones, or just learning about hydration. Sometimes there's a 30, 45-minute podcast that you can listen to um, from different people. So for me, it's always about, how can I learn? How can, because this is investment too, back into you, back into yourself by being in good health again, because God wants us to prosper and be in good health as our soul prospers. So just making sure overall that we are being healthy.
Okay.
And then besides the podcast, um, local classes, and we talked about workshops, but sometimes, there's classes at the gym. Like for me, my strength training class works for me, my Zumba class. So just check different gyms or different places that may have something that you may like to do besides walking. Some people like jogging, walking on their own, and then some people like, I need interaction, and so I need to be around people. And then even if you go walking with somebody, find a friend, or your husband, he likes to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, just like walking with him. I know a couple that goes, that's their thing. They walk together, so they help motivate each other and hold each other accountable.
Okay.
Yes. So we are wrapping up here. If you have any more questions or comments, anything you want to say this week, hopefully that just gives you some insight and help you with harmonizing or bringing all of these things into play to harmonize your body. I like that because when you think about harmony, it's when you think about music, you bring all these things together and they're on you get this melody or this key that is really sweet. So being sweet to your body and finding all of these things that work together or harmonize or come together that works for you. And that's your daily routines, and that's your how you eat, your exercise, how you hydrate, and taking those digital breaks because that's important too.
What about the supplement? Did you do all the supplements and the vitamins?
Oh, vitamins. The
Yes.
supplements were like the greens I was talking about.
Okay.
So,
The vitamins.
making sure you do like some of the immunity shots were like part of
Yeah.
the supplements and taking the green drink, finding a green drink that works for you.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to think, are there any more supplements? Now, vitamins that are really good. Vitamin C, of course. Vitamin D is important. Um, elderberry, if you're not taking those. So those are the three that I would definitely recommend
Okay.
straight up. And then some others that I usually take is collagen. Sometimes I'll take it extra. It is in my packet of Green Synergy, but sometimes I'll add to that. And another very important one is apple cider vinegar. So they come in capsule or gummy. I like the gummy form of the apple cider vinegar, and it really helps
Mhm.
over with your overall health. So that's a vitamin I recommend.
Okay. So, like for say one for women's health or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
what's a like say a date? You know, they
Oh,
say
a
for
daily
women
vitamin.
take a date.
Yes. So a daily vitamin is good. Um definitely I would choose one that's like a women's daily vitamin because usually it has the essential nutrients and things that you need for your body, including things for like your hair and nails, the biotin.
Mm.
I make sure it includes those things. But for me,
Okay.
I don't take a women's one a day just because I do a lot of the other supplements, and you don't
Mhm.
want to overdo it on vitamins and supplements.
Right.
Mhm.
So, say if you like if you do the supplement, like if you do the what was the immunity shot, you're not gonna need a women's vitamin, right? Daily.
Immunity shot maybe because it just depends on it. So you look at the ingredients and see
Mm.
what's in there versus like a multivitamin. I would go and see what's in the multivitamin and like all the other supplements. And for
Yeah.
me, I just compare and I goes, oh, if I'm getting this already, like the main one is my green drink or shot.
Mm.
A lot of those are in that one, not necessarily the immunity shot.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of ones are in my greens, so I don't want to overdo it. And
Right.
people can overdo it.
Okay.
Mhm. So homework is basically, and we'll go over it again next week, like we did at the beginning of the course or class or session, is the body harmony goal and just jotting down those goals and making sure you start on your habit tracker.
Okay.
Because once you form those healthy habits and getting in a routine of doing these things, then it just becomes easier or like clockwork or normal or natural.
So what you said with the so just check off if you did it throughout the week or whatever.
It
You don't
has
have to
like
put how much time or nothing like that. Just check
you
it
don't
off if
have
you
to if you
decided to do
want
it.
to be yeah, if you want to like put how much time or keep track. sometimes that helps, but at least check off if you did it. But yeah, I will write
Okay.
down maybe in the notes or somewhere how long I did it, just so you can see how one
Mm.
help hold yourself ability uh, help keep yourself accountable, not accountability, accountable, and then see growth. So your main thing is wanting to see growth. So if I started out with
Okay.
like 5 minutes here or 10 minutes, because I started off slow, then I work my way up to 15 minutes. And then by the end of the week, I'm at 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So setting small goals and then making them bigger.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I usually like, will write down my time and stuff like that. But starting off just like, hey, I'm glad I was able to do it. And I would keep a count too of water. So you checking off water, but then how much you drank until you reach your goal if you don't start off reaching it on the first day.
Okay. Alrighty.
All righty. So, and then don't forget your food journal if you kind of have time. That one I
Okay.
know is a little bit more time consuming.
Okay.
All right. And doing your food journal. And I think that pretty much wraps up this session. This mainly body is just taking care of yourself and part of your self-care routine. And a lot of times people think self-care, when you think about self-care, you start off with the material part, so the outward, but it always starts inwardly and works itself outwardly. So self-care are things that I do for me overall, starting with my body, and the things we talked about tonight are so important to your self-care routine. And then you see
Okay.
all of those things on the outside, because when you're healthier inside and you are treating yourself well, then you go, oh, they have a different look, they have a different glow. A lot of times, if it's weight or toning, you start to see that on the outside,
Mm.
but it starts, you know, doing those small things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you with this is being recorded. Is there any way I can get a copy of it or
Yes, and I do apologize. We're doing a little bit of editing to last week, so you will get last week's recording and this week as well. So you'll be able to go back and look at it.
I didn't even notice you was recording last week because I was gonna ask you. I
Oh,
was like, Tamika, can you record it?
oh
And then
really?
when I
Oh,
got on this yeah,
yes.
when I got on this time it says record because last time it didn't say it that
Oh,
it
we
was
did it.
recording.
Oh, you know why?
No.
It started it said it before you came on. That's what
Oh,
happened.
okay.
Because it'll start it
Yeah,
at,
so I was gonna ask you, I was like, can you record it so I can go back and watch it or something like that?
of course, of course. So it's being recorded and I will get that recording or replay out to you.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing you next week where we are talking about the spirit, week 3.
All right. Have a good night and the rest of your week.
You too. Bye-bye. Or good night.